When we have a poor start to the day, it's almost like trying to catch up in a race. Now, is it possible to catch up? Of course it is. But you're going to expend so much more energy, so much more time, so much more effort trying to play catch up than you would if you just started strong in the first place, right? So that's what this whole premise is about. This whole premise is about us making sure we have a very, very strong foundational start to our day. Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to the FCS Prep Podcast, where we experience real change right now. I'm your host, Dr. Keith Fairclough, and today we're going to be talking about pre-gaming your day. No, I'm not talking about barbecues and throwing the ball around and drinking and having fun. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about setting your mind, your spirit, and your body up in such a way that allows you to overcome any obstacle, any challenge, and achieve any goal that you have set for yourself that day. Putting yourself in a good place, a good position to take on anything that might come your way. But before we get into that, let's make sure we like, comment, subscribe, and share this podcast with someone that you think will benefit their life. Please do that. It's always good to be able to help others with information that could change their life. They say information changes situations. So hopefully this information is changing situations in your life. It can change situations in other people's lives. So without further ado, let's get into it. Pre-gaming your day. All right. So there's a saying that says, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Right. And I do believe in that. And in certain contexts, that is 100% true. But we cannot be ignorant to the fact that having a strong start can most certainly help and facilitate us having a strong finish, right? It can help buffer things along the way. And so one of the things when it comes to pre-gaming our day is that we're having a strong start. We're setting our mind and our body and our spirit up for success. We're putting and pouring into ourselves and getting our thoughts and everything in order, and our body in order, and our energy systems in order, so that no matter what comes our way during the day, we can attack it, overcome it, and just achieve whatever goal that we are trying to achieve that day, no matter what the goal may be. It's very, very, very important, right? Because guess what? When we have a poor start to the day, it's almost like trying to catch up in a race. Now, is it possible to catch up? Of course it is. But you're going to expend so much more energy, so much more time, so much more effort trying to play catch up than you would if you just started strong in the first place, right? So that's what this whole premise is about. This whole premise is about us making sure we have a very, very strong foundational start to our day, where we can then attack our day and attack our goals and attack whatever comes our way. Because one thing we all know is that we might have a plan for the day and something might come along and throw us off. So what is pre-gaming our day? What does that entail? What does that look like? All right. So I've identified 7 things that I think are critical for us when it comes to pre-gaming our day. All right. So these 7 things are prayer, meditation, education, writing, something that's inspirational, motivational, physical activity, and then something to get us our energy boosted or get us emotionally boosted, right? These 7 things are very, very important and critical for us to really pre-game our day. And so let's just get into it, right? Let's break every single one of them down, talk about what they are, how they're helpful, and why we should be pre-gaming our day with these 7 things. The first thing is prayer. And so I know not everybody that listens to the podcast either believes in God or is Christian or whatever, but that's not necessarily the point of this part, right? The part of this is that we are appealing to something that is beyond us, something that is higher than us, something that is greater than us, to help kind of just get things organized in our brain, to process things, to put things in focus, to put things in order, right? It's a way for us to just really start processing our mind and our thoughts and everything, our energy and our emotions. It's a way for us to do that, to process it, right? And so prayer is something that we should really kind of, it's like I said, put in the first part of our day. Again, what does that look like? What does prayer look like? I know for me, prayer is me talking to God, right? I'll go on a walk in the morning, I'll go on my prayer walk, and I'll just talk to God. And I'll talk to him about things I'm struggling with, things that, I want to see happen in the future, things out there about people that I want their lives to get better, situations I want them to improve, all types of different things, right? One of the most important things about prayer is that you gotta make sure that you're being real and you're being honest, right? And for those of you who are believers, and whatever it is you believe in, and I'll throw in there being respectful as well, but to be real. That's not the time to be politically correct. This is the time to get whatever it is on your heart, on your mind, get it out. Because the thing is, if you carry that with you throughout the day, it is going to hinder whatever it is you're trying to do. If it's an issue you have with your spouse or your kids or a person or just situation, if you don't process that, if you don't get that out, if you're not real with it, it will poison things you encounter and do throughout your day. The way you think, the way you process things, the way you filter things, it will. So it's very important to get that stuff out. As far as like how you pray, that's up to you. Though if you want to walk, you can walk. If you want to kneel down, you can kneel down. If you want to lay down, if you want to sit up, however you want to do it, you can do it. But I think the most important thing, no matter who you are, where you are, is it needs to be out loud. It's very, very important for us to pray out loud, to speak out loud. And I know a lot of people are like, well, I just do it in my head. The problem with doing it in our head is because it's too easy to be distracted. And on top of that, it doesn't process the information as well. And so you might go into a prayer time and you might think, okay, I'm going to pray in my head, but then you spend half the prayer time fighting off intrusive thoughts. It's like, dang, why am I thinking about, my shoelaces? Why am I thinking about what I got to do at work? Why am I thinking about this? Why am I thinking about that? Well, if you pray out loud, you're very intentional about what you're focusing on, and your brain cannot put those intrusive thoughts in the way. And then additionally, it's a strong possibility that if you're tired or you're doing this early in the morning, that you could just end up falling asleep. Pray out loud, walking, laying down, sitting up, whatever, but make sure you're doing it out loud and make sure you're being real and you're being open and you're being honest. This is not the time to hold anything back. Be real, open, and honest. Pray out loud. That's the first step, prayer. Second step, something inspirational and motivational. Right? So I like to do this when I first get up. I'll put on like a podcast, someone pouring out good information, right? Some people I like Tony Robbins, I like Dr. Eric Thomas, I like Inky Johnson, I like Ed Milet, and there's a lot of others on top of that as well. Get something that's going to pour into your mind, pour into your spirit, motivate you. So there's a lot of compilations out there. You can hop on YouTube and find any type of motivational thing to just kind of get you going. These are the first things you want in your mind, right? Don't pick up your phone and go scrolling on social media. Don't look at the news. Don't look at any of that. You need something that's going to inspire you and motivate you in a positive way. And you can do this as, let's say, for me, I do while I'm making my pre-workout. Right? Podcast on as soon as I get up. I'm going to make my pre-workout. So it's playing. I'm getting my water. I'm getting the pre-workout. I'm getting this. I'm getting that. As I'm getting ready, it's about a 15-minute process. So for 15 straight minutes, I'm getting good, healthy, inspirational, motivational things poured into my spirit over and over again. That's another thing as well. Brain waves and theta and data and all that stuff like that. When you first wake up, I believe you're in the theta wave phase, and that's when you're very susceptible to the information that's coming in and warning, good or bad. Right? So make sure that you're pouring in the good when you first get up. So that's the inspirational, motivational. And again, find someone you like, find someone you resonate with, find someone that you agree on stuff with and whatnot, so that they're pouring in that positive stuff and you're able to receive it, right? This is just time for you to receive the inspiration and the motivation, okay? Next thing, meditation. Meditation. Some people use meditation and prayer interchangeably. I do not. I think they're completely and totally different. Right? Meditation is taking the time to basically get control of your mind and your body, and then you're intently and intensely focusing on something you want to bring to pass. Maybe it's your health, maybe it's your finances, maybe it's your relationship, maybe it's your kids, maybe it's your business. Whatever it is you're trying to bring to pass, you're taking this time to intensely focus on it, right? And intently focus on it. You're relaxing your whole body. You're relaxing your mind, and you're going there and you're just focusing on whatever that thing is. And the thing is, the more you focus intently on something, greater the opportunity and the chance to bring it to pass, right? The greater the chance of it to manifest in the physical world. For anybody who's like, oh, well, that's witchcraft, it's not, but we're not going to go into the details on meditation right now. Just know that it is very, very helpful. I think it's important because, especially if you're going into the day and you're trying to conquer something, you need to start envisioning what it looks like to conquer that thing. What does it look like to handle that problem? What does it look like to handle that business deal? What does it look like to do that presentation? What does it look like to have that relationship with your spouse? Like, you have to mentally look and rehearse that, generate those emotions, so that you can bring it to pass in the physical world, all right? That's meditation. Very, very important. The next thing, education, right? This is something that you're reading, something that's going to teach you, educate you, help you learn, help you grow in your profession, in your marriage, in your health, whatever it is. I know for me, I love audiobooks. Absolutely love audiobooks. They've been so helpful to me because I don't do the whole reading the book in my hand thing. I fall asleep really easily. I lose my space. I lose interest. It doesn't really work well for me, but it may work well for you. Maybe you do well with holding physical books. Maybe you do well with PDF documents and web pages and all stuff like that. I'm not here to push one way or the other. We just got to do something that's going to educate us, right? Something that's going to pour into us so we're learning and we're growing and we're making progress in whatever it is that we're trying to do. Education, very, very, very important. All right. Writing, right? That's the next one. Writing. Make sure you're writing something. Listen, I don't care what it is. If it's your story, if it's you journaling, if it's your daily affirmations, if it's your daily gratitude list, if whatever it is, a social media post, something motivational, something like that. But write something that's going to help you process your thoughts, right? There is a strong connection behind us being able to articulate ourselves in writing. Very, very important. Write, type, write. Very important to put that in your day. It primes your brain, right? You start priming your brain for your activities and the work that's going to be coming up throughout your day. So find something to write about. It doesn't have to be a whole book, right? Not the next greatest novel, but something that you can write about. Hopefully something motivational. Hopefully something that's going to help you make progress. You know, and the beautiful thing about writing is you can combine it with education as well. So if you read an article, maybe you want to write a little something about it, you could do that as well. We'll talk about, how we could combine them with the time or whatnot. We'll talk about that a little bit later. The next thing, physical activity, right? I'm not talking about just going on some brisk walk. I know other people might say that and whatever. They're more than welcome to do that. I'm talking about heavy duty physical activity. I'm talking about, imagine flooring it in your car and you want to do that with your body, right? I'm talking about lifting heavy weights. I'm talking about pushing it. I'm talking about running, sprinting. I'm talking about like giving it your all. I'm talking about getting your heart rate up. That's the type of physical activity I'm talking about. I'm not just talking about going for a nice walk. Walking is good. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about doing heavy physical activity. Remember, you are revving your body up to prepare for the day. Right? So you want to rev it up in such a way where it's like, whoom, that the whole body is just like ready to go. Like we put in the hard, heavy work and now we're ready to go. And the bonus of that is, for one, you're going to burn more calories throughout the day. And the studies have shown that those who work out in the morning tend to burn more calories throughout the day than those who work out later in the day or later in the evening. Two, you're boosting your metabolism up. So now you're going to have a continuous source of energy throughout the day because of your workout. Very, very important. Our mind, our spirit, our body, they are interconnected. They help. So when one does good, they all do good. So one of the best ways we can make everything go good and work well is for us to get our bodies physically active. The last thing is something that's going to boost your energy, something that's going to get you hyped, get you emotionally hyped, right? So this is something like more so like hyping up your mind. Now, this can be done through music. This can be done through saying your affirmations, your daily affirmations with conviction. This can be done however, whatever else works for you. Jumping up and down, talking trash about your day, saying, I'm going to take the day on. Boy, I ain't never seen nothing like this. Like hyping yourself up. That's the idea of this part right here. And it's very, very important because when we hype ourselves up, you're almost like psyching out your mind, right? It's like, oh my gosh, you're fighting against anxiety and everything like that. Like when you start hyping yourself up, like that's what it is. Like you jump up and down. It's like, I'm the greatest, I'm the best. I can't be stopped. I'm going to overcome. Like it's really important to be able to get that in too, right? Think of it like the mental exercise comparable to like the physical activity, right? That's kind of what it's like. You're setting your mind up in a way where it's like, okay, we're ready to take on the day. We're going to, nothing's going to stop us. We're going to overcome. Nothing's going to slow us down. It's important to get ourselves hype in that way. Very, very, very important to get ourselves hype in that way. A few tips as far as how to implement all this. One thing is make sure you do it in the early morning. I know some people, time schedules or whatever, and we'll talk about that in a second as well. There's something about doing things early in the morning that just helps set the pace for the day. Like I said, this is all about pre-gaming our day. And I know for me, one of my templates, the reason why I do it early in the morning, for one, Dr. Eric Thomas, he was getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, shoot, well, if it's working for him. And then you hear about all these other people that get up early. And then I heard about Warren Buffett getting up at 2. And then Jesus was always up early. And David was up early. And so there's all these people. There's all this evidence of people who are very, very successful waking up early and doing their stuff. So I'm like, hey, let me just do it too. And it has been helpful. So getting up early in the morning, that's a great tip and a great way to make sure you get all these things in. And I didn't say this before, but for me, it takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours to get all these things in. And again, we'll talk about how to navigate that time-wise, because everybody has different schedules, different jobs, different lives, and there are still ways to get these things in, even with all that taken into consideration. The next tip, remove all distractions. Every and any distraction you could possibly remove. Being up early in the morning is a great way to do this, right? Because everyone's asleep. No one's sending you emails. No one's sending you text messages. No one's calling. Just waking up early helps to eliminate many, many distractions. But we all know ourselves. There are plenty of things that we can still distract ourselves with that we think are important, but really it's a distraction from us pre-gaming our day and setting up our mind and our heart and our spirit in our body to take on the day. Make sure you eliminate all distractions. When it comes to like your phone, you can put it on do not disturb, so that even if things were to come through and announcements and things like that were to come through, it'll all be silenced until your time is done. All right. Next thing, protect your time. For me, like I said, in the morning, everybody knows that's not the time. Not for dad. We don't go to dad. We don't go to the husband. We don't call him. We don't reach out to him during that time. And there are times when I wake up in the morning, at least during the summer, and the kids will still be up. We don't talk. I may say good morning. They may say good morning, but that's about it. But there's no, hey, come fix this. Hey, check this out. Hey, look at this. Hey, watch this video. There's none of that. They know that's dad's time. We don't interrupt during that time. My wife, same thing. I don't interrupt during that time. And she might do it like later on. She might send a text message or something like that. And she'll ask, hey, are you still in your time? You still doing your prayer or whatever? I'll say, yep, or I'm still doing my time or whatever. And that'll be it. And she'll respect it. So you got to make sure you protect that time, because guess what? No one else is going to give it to you. You got to make sure you protect that time. And also protect your energy and your focus during that time. Make sure you're staying on task. Self-talk does a great job of doing that. If you find yourself doing something or engaging in something that has nothing to do with pre-gaming your day, it has nothing to do with it, then what you need to do is dismiss that thing. Say, hey, what are we doing? This has nothing to do with what we're trying to do. Nothing at all. So I need to leave it alone. We need to stop this. I can come back to this later. Someone else can take care of this. This is not a priority. Make sure you protect your energy and your focus. Let's address. So I said it before, about an hour and a half to 2 hours. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer for me, but generally that's how long it takes, right? I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, so that gives me really between 3 to 6 to get everything in, which is more than enough time. But for those of you who say, Keith, that sounds great. This is awesome. I love it so far, but I'm gonna turn it off because guess what? You don't know my schedule. You don't know my life. I don't have any time. Okay, this is for you. For those who say I have no time, you don't know my life, you don't know my schedule, you don't know what's going on. Okay, check this out. We as human beings make time for things that are important. We just do. That's just what it is. We do. If something's important, we make time. And I always say that if someone said, hey, I'm going to give you $1 billion if you do this morning routine. If you pregame your day 7 days this week, I'm going to give you $1 billion come the 8th day. I can guarantee no one would say, I don't have the time. You don't know my work schedule. You don't know this. You don't know that. I can guarantee it. I can also guarantee this, that if someone said, hey, if you don't pregame your day for this week, come day 8, I'm gonna take your life. I don't think you'd be like, well, you know what? Hey, that. Nah, I'm not gonna do it. No, we wouldn't make excuses, is basically what I'm saying. So don't limit yourself in your mind by saying, I don't have the time. There are ways to still get it in, even if your time is limited in the morning, right? So, and of course, I'm not gonna be ignorant of that. But the second thing is, a lot of times we waste more time than we even realize, to be 100% honest. We waste so much more time than we even realize. If we were to look at our day and look at how we spent our time, we would find so much time to get things done. It would be insane. Most people aren't wall to wall doing something. It would be nice if we were, because we'd be killing our goals and achieving whatever we want to achieve and having great relationships and money and all that stuff like that. But the fact of the matter is, we don't have it like that. All right. Most people don't have it like that. The third thing is, which kind of ties into everything, is that whatever we set our mind to, we can do. Plain and simple. You know, if whatever we set our mind to, we really want something, we really want to do something, we can and we will do it, which actually kind of ties back to my manifestation thing when I was talking about. Things that we focus intently on tend to come to pass, right? So whatever we set our mind to, we can accomplish. So for those of you who say, hey, I hear you, I'm a little on the fence still, but I still feel like I don't have the time to do it. So let me give you my top priority. If you have no time, make sure you get these things done. These 3 are probably, like I said, the most important. They give you the most bang per buck. These 3: prayer, physical activity / the energy and emotion booster, and education, right? These 3 give you the most bang per buck. Taking time to pray, physical activity, and reading something, engaging in some type of educational material that's going to help you get ahead. Very, very, very important. If you get those 3 in every morning, and those 3 shouldn't take any more than about an hour if you do it right. And when I was saying like lifting heavy weights and things like that, not everybody has access to a home gym. Not everyone has access to even go to the gym right away. And some people don't have access to a gym at all right? They don't have no membership. There are plenty of calisthenic exercises you can do. Squats, push-ups, all types of things you could do to strengthen yourself. The whole calisthenic industry is massive. It's so big. So the idea that I can't work out because I don't have weights or I don't have equipment or I can't get to the gym or whatever, it's not even an excuse anymore. You can substitute high weights for just increase the volume, right? So instead of just doing like, oh, I'm gonna just do 30 push-ups and be done with it, you know, see how many you can get in and just keep doing that over and over and over again. There's whole systems out there for calisthenics, but in any case, I don't want to go on a rant about that. Those are the 3 that give you the most bang per buck, right? Gotta get those in. Some of the other ones you could squeeze in there, right? There are some things that you could actually compound in your day. So for example, you can put on something inspirational, motivational as you're getting ready in the morning, right? You can put on an audiobook. I know education, but you can put on audiobook as you're driving in the car, as also you're getting ready in the morning. Any kind of combination. There's plenty of combinations out there, right? So, and these things that I gave you, they're not necessarily in order, right? I gave you all 7. They're not necessarily in order. It's really going to be up to you to decide how you want to orchestrate them and organize them in your day to be most effective. I know for me, this is how my day starts out. I wake up, something inspirational, motivation. I come downstairs, I get my pre-workout, I go on my prayer walk. As I do my prayer walk, I come back, I do my meditation. As I do my meditation, I will work out. And with the workout, I'll have the hype music. After I work out, I hop on the treadmill and I walk for about 30 minutes and I listen to something educational, right? I'll listen to a book. I combine them, so that's why you have 5 fingers. I combine the exercise and the exercise and the energy booster. And for the last one that I do is writing. That's something I'll just do at the end, right? I'll do like even like a motivational study or a Bible study or something along those lines, right? So that's generally what I do as far as my setup is. You don't have to do it the same way. And again, if you're like, hey, I don't have all that time, then pick the top 3. Those are my 3 top picks, right? Prayer, physical activity, education. You might say, you know what? I can orchestrate in such a way where I can do it differently. So I'm going to have a different priority for your top 3. Never forget, the idea is to pregame your day. So whatever you got to do to pregame your day, to get you hyped, to get you ready, to get you motivated, to get you energized, to get you pumped up, to take on your day, take on your challenges, that is what you want to do. So the order in which you do it is irrelevant, right? Although I think in my notes, I was saying like with meditation, you don't want to do it when you're super tired because there is a relaxation that comes with meditation. So you could actually meditate yourself to sleep. And you don't want to do it too late where you're so hyped up and energized. Like now you can't slow everything back down or to a point where you don't want to slow everything back down, right? So meditation, you want to place that somewhere where it will be nice and easy. So in any case, guys, that's it. That is it. That is how you pregame your day. I'm telling you, when you start doing these practices, it is going to supercharge your efforts in a way like you've never seen before. I say early in the morning. A lot of other people say early in the morning. That's a great time to do all these things. If you said, hey, I have a better time. And let me also say this. Let's engage in conversation about this as well. Put down, if you're doing this, or you're starting to do it, or you've done it for a while, this is not new information to you, put down in the chat, in the comments, and just say, hey, these are some things that work for me. These are some of the organizations and how I've organized things that work for me. Because we could all learn from each other. I'm not God. I'm not perfect. I know these things work. How they work, maybe there really is a formula that we could put everything in where it will benefit us and help us in a great, mighty way. Long story short, guys, we kept it under 30 minutes. FCS prep, real change right now. You can experience real change right now with what we talked about today. I love you guys. You all take care. Have a great, awesome, and blessed day. Again, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And then hit that notification bell as well so you know when these videos drop. I love you all. You all take care. Have a great, awesome, and blessed day.